Please 1 minute more only. Okay. Okay, dear participant, welcome back in the second day of the workshop. And I hope that you have covered the yesterday's lecture, the content which I have shared with you. And most of the important thing is to install the Anaconda in your system. And I hope that you have installed the SAM. And still, if you have any problem to install Anaconda in your system, please let me know. I am audible. Alka Dixit is saying no voice. Please confirm me. I am audible. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you to all. Yes. So if you have any question related to Anaconda, how you can install, because the today's session will be completely based on Anaconda and the Jupyter notebook. I have prepared very nice content, and in the meantime, we will cover a very interesting topic that will help you in artificial neural network. Okay, and also today, a few minutes ago, I share one PDF file in the WhatsApp group. Okay, so I hope that you have accessed the same. And what was there? There is a simple calculation how we can do by using manual calculation. Okay, I have prepared the PDF file and I shared in the WhatsApp group. So first, I want to show you the same. I would like to share my screen, and first I have to open the file. Okay, so here, just 1 minute. Okay. So this is my desktop. You can see the entire screen I have shared with you. Yes. Yeah. So here you can see the very simple example, and everyone can easily understand. So here we try to put the example so you can see the how the calculations are there. Simple numerical example of an artificial neural network. Okay. So here we take only the two inputs, x1 and x2. These are two different input. Okay. And corresponding to this input, we have to choose the weight. Okay. And as yesterday we talked about the same, that we are don't worry about the recording. Recording is there through the YouTube. Okay. So the link of the recording will be available after the session, and you can everyone can access the same link. So here in this example, you can see that we have very simple example, and x1 and x2, these are the two inputs. Okay. W1 and W2, these are their respective weights which we have to consider. So initially we have to take the values which we are have the input values, but W1, W2 and B, these values we have to consider according to our choice. Okay. So when you choose the value of W1 is 0.4, W2 is 0.6 and B is 0.5. So these values are small in size. Okay. So in the very first step, we are required to calculate the weight sum, and weight sum is this equation for two input variables. Okay. So here we have x1 w1 plus x2 w2. So the first part which I highlight at this place is the linear combination of x1 x2 with their scalar values w1 w2, and plus b, which is the bias. So we are required to add here. Okay, why we need to? We have discussed all these things in the yesterday's lecture. And the PPT also I have shared with you. You can access the same content which we present yesterday. You can download from Google Drive link, which is available in your WhatsApp group. Okay, and all the content which we are going to cover today also will be available there day wise. Recording of each session will be available for you. If due to any reason you skip the lecture, you can access the same. Okay, so I will try to facilitate as much possible as can do for you. So here, what we do, we have to put all these values in this expression. So when we simplify after putting these values here, so we have z is equal to 2 by 0.4 plus 3 by 0.6 plus 0.5. And after simplification, you can see that the value of z we have is 3.1. After that, when we calculate the weighted sum, we are required activation function. And sigmoid activation function is highly useful. Okay, so here this is the sigmoid activation function, which you can see here fx is equal to 1 upon 1 plus e raised to power minus x. And why we are required to activate the network. Okay, so this is the activation function. So this will decide whether the inputs are activate or not, neurons are activate or not. Okay, so what we do, the value which we have computed at the place, we are required to substitute in this function. Okay, so f, the value of z we have is 3.1, and the same, the at the place of x we are using 3.1. So when you will put here f 3.1 is equal to 1 upon 1 plus e raised to power minus 3.1, which is approximately the value of e raised to power minus 3.1 is approximate to 0.045. And this is the final obtained. F 3.1 is equal to this value. And after simplification, you will see that the value is f 3.1 is equal to 1 upon 1 plus 0.45, which is approximated to 0.957. So we have covered the two steps. In the first step, we calculate the value of z, and in the second step, we calculate the value of activation function. So this is the final output. And here you can see the interpretation. Okay, see these lines. This is the important part. Output close to 1 indicate the strong activation of the neurons. Okay, here the neurons will be activate. Okay, and once these are activate, then they will perform. And output close to 0 indicate weak activation of the neurons. Okay, so whether it is a 0 greater than 0.5 or less than 0.5, according to that we have to decide whether it is a will activate the neurons or not activate the neurons. Okay, so but here you can see the value is 0.957, and this indicates that the neurons strongly activate. Okay, so this is the activation function, and in this way we can activate. Okay, so side by side, when we have the multiple layers, hidden layers are there. So in that case, how we can do the calculations, that part will be there. Okay, so various examples I will try to put here for manual calculation so that you can have the better understanding. And this is the first part, how you can see that the neurons are whether it is are activate or not. So this will depend upon the value after using the activation function. Okay, now come to here, which is the most important part, that is Jupyter notebook. Okay. So if all of you are able to download and you have installed Jupyter notebook in your system, okay, and if you think that once it is required to expand once again, I can do, please reply me yes or no in the chat box. Please let me know yes or no in the chat box if you have any problem or the challenge to install the Anaconda, because all the things which we do in the coming session and the today's session onwards, we are required to use Jupyter notebook. So without having the Jupyter notebook, we are not able to perform the practical task. Okay, if anyone have any challenge or problem to use Anaconda or installation, please let me know. If it's okay, then we can go ahead. I hope no one have any problem. Yes, I think all the participants have done. Anyone who is facing any problem? Yes, most of the participant replying installed. Okay, so it's fine. So once again, I'm going to share my screen. Yes. So if anyone have the problem, you don't hesitate. You can put your query in the chat box or you can WhatsApp me. Okay. So here you can see this is my download. And yesterday I explained that how you can create the file and how we can use. Okay. But today also we are going to cover the same thing. And once again, I want to explain that how you can do and how you can use. So when you will open Anaconda, how you can do, just you will see here the Anaconda navigator icon, you are required to click on it. So when you will click on it, this will open and this is the interface when you will open it. Okay. When you will open the Jupyter notebook. When you open the Jupyter notebook. This is the interface of the Anaconda navigator, and this from this place you will launch your Jupyter notebook. So when you will launch the Jupyter notebook, the new window will open and this will appear like in this way. Okay. So this is the step and the sequence which everyone are required to follow. So what happened at this place, you can see this is the local host. This is the local host. And in the local host, you will observe that all the directories, folders which are exist in your system, you can observe at the place. So all these are the directories and the folders in your system. Okay. So if I would like to open, this is my download. This is my download directory. Okay. And when I will open here, you can see these content are available in my download directory. Okay. So here also we have some interesting content are available here. Okay. So just you are required to double click on it and you can open anyone. Okay. So yes. The main thing is how you can create your new folder. I have explained yesterday, but right now also, once again, I am repeating the same, how you can create your directory or folder where all the tasks which you will perform will be available in your current folder which you have created. Okay. So this is my current directory. Okay. This is my current directory. Download not find. Customer surname, download. I can take a new directory. Okay. 2026 ANN workshop. Yes, you can see on the top. So when you have created your directory, your folder, you can save it, you can create anywhere in your system so that all the tasks which you will perform related to your project must be available at the same place so that all the operations, all the tasks which you want to perform, you can do easily. Okay. So here you, from this place, you can take the new file. Okay. So you can see, you can from this place show the header, and when you will click on the show header, This is the file name. You can save. You can rename it. Okay. This is first file in Python. Okay. This is the my file name. You can do rename it, and you can see here the file name is there, and also the same file will be available in your current directory. This is the first file in Python. Okay. Automatically this will update here. Okay, this is your current folder where you have created the file, you save it. You can import any kind of the, just like if you want to study or you want to analyze some database. So your CSV file, Excel file, text file, you should put at this place, and you can easily perform all type of the task which we are required. Okay, so this is the file. Okay, once again, I want to make a change here. Yes, so that I can have maximum size at the page. So here we want to perform some task, matrix algebra. This is matrix algebra. Okay, and you know matrix algebra play a very important role in artificial neural network and machine learning for ANN and ML. Okay, so see here, this is the text only. So you have to change markdown. And for the text, you will always use markdown. Okay, I have explained yesterday about the same, but once again, I'm repeat the same task. Control and enter. This will print here. If you want to increase the font size of the text, you can use hash sign. If you want to bold, then you can use double star, and here double star also. Control and enter. You can see you have very nice title. Okay. After that, if you want to insert some description, okay, matrix algebra is the mathematical foundation for ANN. Okay, and so on. Whatever you want to insert here, you can do. Okay, so after that, here the main thing is how you can create matrix by using add the page. So this is very quite simple. We are required to import here numpy. Okay, we are required to use here numpy. What is numpy? Import numpy is np. Okay, so this is the numpy is one of the most important library which is based on numbers. Num means numbers and pi means Python. So numbers with the help of Python, we have the library numpy. So by using the numpy, we can create all type of the matrices, their operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, inverse matrix. Okay, we can create any type of the arrays. We can generate the matrices, multiple arrays, and arrays play very important role in artificial neural network and machine learning. So if you are required to generate the line space, okay, we are required to import numpy. So at this place, we are not required to install numpy in your system, because when we are using Anaconda, so along with the Anaconda, the basic libraries which we are required for our data science, just like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, etc., all these are available in your along with the Anaconda. So just we are required to import these libraries. Libraries work just like a toolbox. Okay, if we want to perform any task, we are required some tool. So these are the toolboxes. And according to our need, according to our task, according to our performance, we are required to that particular library, that particular, you can say, the toolbox. Okay, so these are nothing but to work as a toolbox. Okay, so NumPy we are required for the matrix algebra, which is the most essential part for artificial neural network and machine learning. So once you will check, you will run from this icon. You will run this statement from this icon. And if there is no error, if the numpy is not in your system, then this will return some error. Okay, but here we don't have any error. Okay, so the thing is how we can use this numpy to create matrix. Okay, see, very simple statement, and you will enjoy everything. See, A is variable, which is the symbol for the, we are using the this letter to store matrix in this side variable, which in uppercase A. Okay, so how we use, this is the name of the library and this is the abbreviation. So all type of the libraries which you will use, they have their own abbreviation, and only abbreviation we are required to use. Okay, so from this NP, we are using only NP. And from NP, we want to use array function. We want to use array function. Array used to create matrix. Okay, so if you are using these two brackets, so these two brackets are the left bracket and right bracket of the matrix. Okay, so if you are entering here some element 1, 2, 3, and then execute. See, okay, we have to use here print function also. We have to use print function. Okay, see now, we have this array. Okay, if you are using one more bracket, this is one row. Okay, if you are using one more, then see, this is like in this way. Okay, but now we want to create the matrix. Okay, so this is only one row. For the second row, what we have to do, 2, 3, 4. Okay, see, this is the first row of the matrix and this is the second row of the matrix. So to create row, we are required to put the element like in this way. This is the first row. This is the second row. If you want to insert one more row, then you can use one more, just like 3, 4, 5. Then execute. Okay, so you can see here, this is a 3 by 3 order matrix. Okay, any doubt? Yes. So if you wanted to check the shape, there is a shape function, a dot shape, and when you will execute 3 by 3, so this will return the size of the matrix, dimensions of the matrix. Okay, why we need, the most important thing is here, why we need. So when you have any data set, okay, so we don't know the size of the data set, because here we have the very small matrix, but you have any data set in the form of the CSV file or Excel file or in the text file. And specifically, when the data is in the file, just like a CSV or text file. From these two files, we are not able to observe the dimensions or the size of the data set what we have. So for that, in that cases, we are required to use this type of the functions. Okay, to check the size of the data set. But here we have only the matrix, which is very small in size. Okay, so this doesn't matter how, which type of the data set you have, size of the data set. So by using these simple functions, which we cover during the today's session, which will be available in the coming sessions also. Okay, so just you are required to understand the syntax, how we are using the functions which are available in these libraries. Okay, A is the matrix, and from the A matrix, we want to check the size. So you are required to use the matrix which we store inside this variable and use the dot sign. Then you are required to apply the function to check what you wanted to do, check from the given variable and so on. Okay. Again, suppose that if you have two matrices, A is equal to NP dot array, okay, and yes, sorry, array, and inside we have this is the first row, and in the first row I have two element 1 comma 2, okay, and then comma and enter. This is the second row. In the second row I can have 3 comma 4, okay. This is the A matrix. Then you can take the B matrix, and B matrix is equal to I have NP dot array. Then okay, and enter. Here you will add the first row by using 5 comma 6, and this is the second row, comma, enter, sorry, comma, and then enter. Okay, and here we have the next one. The element are 7 comma 8, 7 comma 8. So first you are required to check print A, and then print B. Okay, and you can do. So this is the matrix A, and this is the matrix B. Okay, so if you want to check the addition, print, you can use directly just like A plus B. Okay, so this will take the sum of these two matrices. Print A plus B is the sum of these two matrices. Okay, control, you can use, click on here. So this is the sum of these two matrices. So you can see the sum of the first row element and from second first row element. Okay, 5 plus 1 6, 6 plus 2 8, and then second row and second row. So easily you can get the sum of the matrix. Similarly, if you want the scalar multiplication, okay, for the scalar multiplication, what you will do, if suppose that you have the scalar is equal to 3, and then result is equal to you can take scalar product, you can take A matrix, okay, product A matrix, and then you can use print function, print result. Okay, print result. So this is the matrix A, you can see this is the matrix A. This matrix will be multiplied with this scalar. So all the element will be multiplied with this scalar value. Okay, so the computing part which will be done on the right hand side will store inside this variable. Okay, and here the value will print, and when you will execute, you can see. Okay, so this is the scalar multiplication of A, and the scalar value is 3. Okay, so I think the examples which I put here and everyone can easily understand. Still, if you have any question, I can unshare the screen and you can unmute your mic, or you can put. Yes, someone is asking, Yesterday we created the folder, sir. Yes, I will open the same. Actually, I am using today two devices. Okay. So I am going to switch it to the same device which I was using yesterday. So please let me know if you have the concept is clear how we are using this file. So that any question, please? Clear. Okay. Okay, clear. So now we are going to switch our main file. Yes. Now everything which we are going to discuss here, the script file, the content are ready. Just I required to explain step by step. Okay. So you are able to create the matrix and how we can do, and now come to this main file which I have created, and I will share with you after this lecture why matrix algebra for ANN and ML is required. Okay. So the matrix algebra is the mathematical foundation of the artificial neural network, and machine learning provide an efficient and structured way to represent the data. We can perform computation, we can create the model complex relationship between the variables. Almost all modern machine learning algorithms rely on the matrix-based operation for training and inference. Okay, so this is the importance of the matrix algebra in machine learning and artificial neural network. So all of us, we know that this is the example how we can create the matrix. Okay, if you want to create this type of matrix by using Jupyter Notebook, you can easily see the code or the syntax behind this one. Actually, in Jupyter Notebook, you can write each type of the mathematical expression, and behind this, LaTeX play very important role. Okay, so when you will see this part where my cursor is moving, here I am using the LaTeX. This is the LaTeX part. Okay, you are not required to install LaTeX in your system. Just by using this Jupyter Notebook, you can create all type of the mathematical expressions inside Jupyter Notebook. Okay, just you are required to give the commands for the required expression which you want to create. Okay, but here I am not explaining detail about the LaTeX, and I consider that all of you are familiar about the LaTeX, because this is not the part of our my lecture at the place. Just we are required to the examples how we can create the matrix. So this is the matrix having some rows and columns, and just like whenever you have the any kind of the data set in CSV or Excel file, so that is the also the example of the matrix. Okay, there will be some rows and columns are there. Okay, and in the column you have some their head name are known as the parameters or the variables, whatever you can say. Okay, so all the data which you will store in CSV file or Excel file or text file, JSON file, just like we have the example of the matrix, some information is there, and from that we are required to apply some matrix operations for our purpose to implement artificial neural network or the machine learning. So here you can see this equation. You can see this equation, Z is equal to Wx. What is W? W is vector. X is the input vector. B is bias. Okay. So when you have the one vector, input vector having n element. Okay, this can be 3, 4, 500, 1000. We don't know. Okay, but we have a vector. Okay, so respect to that, we have some that we have to consider, and after taking the linear combination, we have to add the bias as we have discussed in the previous lecture. Okay, so this type of the calculation when we are required to implement in the real life, without having the matrix operation, we are not able to do perform all this type of the practice. So that's why matrix algebra play very important role in ANN and machine learning. Okay, so here the description about the SAM we have discussed yesterday, and X is the input matrix, W is the weighted matrix, B is the bias vector, and Z is the linear output before activation. Okay, so the value will be stored inside the Z, and then we have to pass through activation function. Okay, just like I show one example in PDF file, and I have shared the SAM in your WhatsApp group. Okay, so here you can see basic metric operations just like C is equal to A plus B. How we can create the matrix, I have shown you the example. And here also we have tried to put several examples here. So this is the first example how you can create the matrix. So here the matrix you can see is the 3 by 3. Okay, so the same library as we do there, import numpy as np. So here all the matrix we are required to import numpy library, and by using the same we can perform all type of the operations. So all the basic operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, inverse matrix, eigenvalues, eigenvectors are covered in this file. Okay, so here now you are familiar about how you can create the matrix. And if there is some data type, okay, what is the meaning of data type? Sometimes you have the values which are in the form of number, some are string. What is a string? Just like you can see, yeah, name is equal to Meher Chand. This is name of the object. Okay, this is my name. Okay, so this is string. Okay, you can store, and if you want to print, so what you will do, print name. Okay, control and enter, control plus enter. You can see the name is stored inside here, the variable which I am using here, name. And then I print here, and you can see after that when I execute this shell, my name is print at the place. Okay, so either you can use the single quote sign, you can use double quote sign, just like you can see here. I am using a single quote sign. Okay, control and enter. Control and enter. Okay, so I have the same output. So the meaning is that if you want to store the string, or you want to use the string in Python, we have to use quote sign. You can use the single quote sign, you can use the double quote sign. Okay, so all these things just within 1 or 2 days you will be familiar about these all this type of the content which we are using, the syntax in the Python inside. Okay, not complex. Other things just we all are the faculty members, background mathematics. Just you are required to check how you can convert the knowledge of the mathematics in the syntax of Python, which is again very simple. Simple examples are there. Okay, how we can use the Python. So when this file is available for you, okay, you must play with all the codes which are available in the file. Some more files are available which I will provide you. So you are required to spend only 30 to 40 minutes or 1 hour. You can easily cover all the files which I will provide you today. Okay, so after this file, I will speed up. I will speed up. So now, what is the purpose here? To give this example, see, here we want to print matrix A. Then we are using here print the matrix. And here we want to check the shape of the matrix. Okay, so see here, this will print this one, print a matrix A. This will print the matrix which will be created at the place. This is the matrix A. Okay, here in the last statement, this is the last statement. By using this statement, we are using here shape of A. Then in the quote sign, and the color is like red color. Okay, and comma A dot shape. Just now I give the example how you can check the shape of the matrix. So in the single statement, we are using the same. And when this statement will be executed, you can see here in the output, shape of A, colon. This is because of the quote sign which I give here. And A dot shape, the shape function will check the size of the matrix and will return the value with corresponding to our string function. Okay, so you can see, you can execute, and you can manipulate. You can insert here some one more row, and you can take 5, 6, 8. See, update automatically. Okay, so this will print the matrix A, this will print the matrix value, then the last statement will print shape of A is 4 by 3. So this is the use of the string when you want to convey the message what you are getting by using the statement. Okay, so the string is also we are required to use sometimes. If you get the value directly, it's okay. But if you are using the string along with your outputs value, so this will display the information what you are displaying. Shape of A is 4 by 3. Okay, so in this way you can integrate the string statement along with your functions or the output values. This will help you for the better understanding to display in a better way. Okay, so what you are observing in this file, all the text, all the information, all the theoretical part, which you need to understand along with their Python examples are there so that you can easily study the theoretical part and implement along with immediately, and you can find the result in the next step. Okay, so this is the beauty of Jupyter Notebook for the beginners. Easy to understand, easy to use, easy to manipulate all the statements which you want to do, which type of the experiment. Once you will be available, you have this file, you must try to manipulate the values. Okay, so as much you will manipulate, you will be familiar, and then after you can create your own file, and this will help you for the better understanding. So by giving these examples, I think there is no big problem to learn the Python. Okay, just you need to only understand how you can convert your mathematical knowledge in the syntax of Python. Only this thing is important. Okay, so here you can see this is the example of the row matrix and column matrix. I can skip here matrix addition. I can skip also. Scalar multiplication also has been discussed. Matrix multiplication. If you are required to multiply two matrices, okay, so in that case, we are required to fulfill the one condition when the number of the column of the matrix A is equal to the number of the rows of the matrix B. Only then we can multiply A matrix with B. Okay, so why this operation is required? Why? So here multiplication, matrix multiplication is the core operation in C. Along with all the operations, I try to put the information why this operation is required. Forward propagation, feature transformation, linear and logistic regression. Okay, so if you have the multiple layers, okay, and to first input to first layer, then second layer, you are this type of the forward propagation. One is backward propagation. In the case of forward means you are going from left to right side. Okay. You are going from left side to right side. You have the input vector, then you have the vectors are has been taken, then bias is added, you have the output values. Okay, then you have the next hidden layer. Okay, you will compute all these values. You can have the hidden layers 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay, so when you will move from left to right, this is the forward propagation. And if you are required to backward propagation, in that case we have to update the value. We have to update the value means the values of vector and the bias values. Okay, so for that to get these new values we have to use gradient, and then a linear and a logistic regression we have to use for feature transformation, which we will cover all these concepts in the coming sessions. So the examples here are how you can calculate these values. So this is the matrix A, you can see this is the matrix A. Okay, and this is the matrix B. Okay, and you can see here the number of columns in A is equal to the number of rows in B. And if you want to multiply, okay, matrix multiplication, then you have to use NP dot A comma B. See the symbol operation NP dot A comma B. By using this operation, you can have the multiplication of A with B. Okay, and this after computing, this part will store inside C, and then you are familiar now these two statement, print matrix multiplication result and print C. So the value which will store inside C will print by using this statement, and when you will execute, you can have the output value. Okay, this is the output value, matrix multiplication result. You can see here. And the same thing you can do manually, and you will check that you have the same output. Okay, so here the only thing which you are required to understand only how we can implement our knowledge in the by using Python syntax, and Python is core a tool by using we are able to compute the values. Okay, if you want to get the transpose matrix, okay, just you are required. Transpose matrix means rows will be converted into column. So the transpose operation are essential in the gradient computation. So when you will apply the gradient computation, and why we need, when you need to operate the value, in that case we have to use gradient computation. Covariance analysis, back propagation. Okay, so in these areas, when we will use these functions in our artificial neural network, in that case we have to use this A transpose. Okay, so how you can get the transpose matrix? A dot T by using this notation, which I highlight at the place. This will return the transpose matrix of a given matrix. Okay, see, this is the matrix A. Okay, this is the transpose matrix. Now we want to print these. So these two statements are used to print the matrix A, original matrix, and this will print the transpose matrix. And you can see by running the code, this is the matrix A, original matrix, and this is the transpose matrix. This is the transpose matrix. Dear participant, if you have any question, you can put your question in the chat box. Okay. Since you are not permitted to unmute the mic because knowingly or unknowingly, sometimes our mic is unmuted. In that case, disturbance created. So to avoid this thing, I don't allow you right now. Okay, but if you have question, you can put in the chat box, and simultaneously I will check the same. I will check it. Okay, if you have any question, you can put in the chat box because chat box is open in my system. As I told you that I have two devices. So simultaneously, I will check your questions in the chat box if there is. Is it clear? Is it clear? Okay, fine. Now we have the most important part, element-wise operation. What are the element-wise operation? Okay, suppose we have the two matrices of the same order. Okay, 2 by 3 order, and B is also 2 by 3 order, and we are required element-wise operation. Okay, so this type of the element-wise operation apply functions independently to each matrix element. Okay, so first element will be multiplied with the first element, second with the second element, third with the third element, and so on. Where you will use this? So for the activation function, we can use for loss for computation. We require to use regularization. Okay, so if along with these computing part, you will go through these details, which I tried to describe why this function is required for artificial neural network. So this will help you for the better understanding. And when we will apply, you will come to, you can recapitulate the same thing. We have studied this part, and this part is using for that some particular task. Okay. So here, what we are doing, okay, there is no example taken here, element. Okay, here is the example, ninth example. So in the ninth example, when you will see element-wise multiplication, what you are observing, we have A matrix. Then we have B matrix. Okay, A matrix is there and B matrix is there. Same size are there. Okay. For element-wise matrix, element-wise multiplication, what you will do, you will use this operation A product B. Okay, and this will be applicable only if the size of both the matrix are equal. Remember. Okay, so what will be there? So see here, this is the first row, and here is the first row. Okay, first element of the first element from this side and first element from this side. You can see one product with the 2 is 2 and 2 product with the 2 is 4, and in the second row 3 product with the 2 is 6 and 4 product with the 2 is 8. So this is element wise multiplication. Okay, you can increase the size of these matrices, you can manipulate the values, your choice. Okay, if I take here 3 and here I am taking 1. Okay, so you can see the change in the matrix. Okay, so sometimes we are required to generate just like identity matrix. So if you are using the MATLAB, okay, in the MATLAB we have I function. By using the I function, you can create identity matrix. In the same way, we have the I function in NumPy. So there are many similarities in Python, MATLAB, and as well R programming. Okay. So in MATLAB, if you want to create any identity matrix, then you can use the I function. You can use the same in R also, and the same we are using in Python. But only the thing is that we are using NumPy. From the NumPy, we are using I function. So here the syntax is np.i. 5. So 5 is the order of the identity matrix. Okay. So this identity matrix will store inside I, and you can see if you are using here 2, so this is the 2 by 2 order identity matrix, and if you are using 3, this is 3 by 3 identity matrix. Okay, you can see. So only this syntax is required. I function is there in NumPy, and NP is its abbreviation. Similarly, if you want to create the zero matrix, and in zero matrix all the elements are 0, you can choose any order of the zero matrix. Okay. See here, np dot zeros 4, comma 4. Okay, see the syntax. So this will generate zero matrix. If you are using here 2 by 4, 2 rows and 4 column. So according to your choice, you can manipulate, you can create, but you have to use zeros. Zeros is also the function in MATLAB to generate zero matrix. And the same we are using in Python with the help of NumPy. And this example we have discussed element wise operation. Okay. Yeah. Here are some element wise operations just like addition, subtraction, multiplication. So C, Cij will be equal to Faij, Bij. Okay. So this can be, F can be the addition operation, this can be the subtraction operation, this can be the multiplication operation. Okay. So this type of the operation is, here are the examples. So for the addition and subtraction, these are simple examples and you can easily understand, not big problem. Okay, so this is the A matrix. This is the A matrix. There are two rows are there. And this is the B matrix. Okay, LP dot array. The elements values are 5, 6, 7, 8. So here we are using the addition, these two, and here we have the subtraction, subtract B from A. Okay, so you can check their respective values. This is the addition of the matrix. This is the subtract B from A. Element wise multiplication. This part we have discussed already. This is the element wise division. Element wise division. So in the case of element wise division, 10 by 2, 20 by 4, 30 by 5, 40 by 8. Okay. So this is the symbol. This is the notation how you can do. Print A backslash B. So this operation will return the element wise division of A element by B element. Again, quite simple. Very simple example. Okay. Yes. Okay. So here you can see the ReLU function in ANN and machine learning. Nonlinear functions are applied element-wise to the matrix. Okay. So see here how we can use here. So ReLU function, what is ReLU function? Okay. For that, I have to open the presentation just 1 minute where I store this file. This is my one minute, please. ANN workshop, right? Let me check. Where is the file? In download. Okay. So you can come to Google Drive. I think the file has been deleted from my system. Okay. So this is the day one content, right? Presented content, day one. This file I have uploaded there and you can download it, but I have to open here for your use. Okay. I can find in my download. Okay, here is the file. Yes, it's fine. So here you can see these are the functions. Okay. So this is the ReLU function. Fz is equal to maximum 0 to 0 comma z. Okay. So if the values are less than 0 on the left side of vertical line, Fz will be 0. And from on the right hand side, is the value of z is increased, the value of Fz is also increased. This is the ReLU function. Okay. So how we can do in our programming in Python? Yes. So here, this is the ReLU function. So the thing is here we are required z. Z is some vector. Okay. In matrix form. Okay. The value of z is in matrix form. So ReLU will be equal to np dot maximum 0 comma z. Okay. This is the matrix. Okay. And np dot maximum will be equal to 0 comma z to compute ReLU function value. Okay. So np dot maximum 0 comma z. See this statement. So when you will apply this, these values will be computed, and according to the function, the values which are on the left side means negative values. These will be 0. Okay. And others will values will remain same. So when you will execute, okay. So here you can see -2 becomes 0, 0 is 0, 3 is 3. 1 minus 1, 4. So -1 become 0. 1, 0, 4. 1, 0, 4. So this is the implementation of ReLU function. Okay. In the same way, if you are required to compute the sigmoid function, okay. So here, this is the sigmoid function. If you want to see in the presentation, this is the sigmoid function. Fz is equal to 1 upon 1 plus e raised to power minus z. The values lies between 0 and 1. The values, maximum value is 1 and minimum value is 0. Okay, this is the sigmoid function. If you want to see more large in size, we can do. Okay. Okay. So this is the sigmoid function. And here is the how you can implement if you have any vector or matrix. So see, we have the Z matrix which we have chosen at the place. And by using this one, we want to compute the values, and you can see the sigmoid function will return the same matrix in size. So this is 1 upon 1 plus NP dot exponential minus Z. So this is the exponential function you can see. And same we can use in the MATLAB, but the syntax is in the MATLAB, only we have exp function. Okay. But when we are using the NumPy, then the same syntax in Python become np.exp, then pass the value. So here the value of sigmoid function is 1 upon 1 plus e raised to power minus x. So here we need minus z. Okay, so this statement will compute all the values corresponding to this given matrix values and will return the same matrix size. Okay, so you can see we have the values of the sigmoid function. And these are the activation function. Remember that. So similarly, you can compute the other values of other activation functions. So here we put only two examples, a sigmoid and a ReLU function. So this is a very simple example how we can implement it to compute these values. Okay, so these the values which we are computing here are the component of artificial neural network. Okay, so combining all these small component, you have the big program. But once you understand all these component, then this will help you to write the big program. Okay, so matrix algebra in machine learning we can use for linear regression, just like y is equal to wx, logistic regression, principal component analysis. We can use support vector, machines, recommendation system. Okay, eigenvalues, eigenvector, matrix decomposition techniques are central to the many of these models. So when you will implement these models, we are required to compute these values, just like eigenvalues. We are required to compute the eigenvector, matrix decompositions. Okay, all these are very helping. But the thing is how you can apply these operations by using Python. Understand only the syntax, which operation we are using. Okay, so the examples which we introduce here are very simple to use. So here you can see matrix in ANN forward pass example. Okay, so here this is the input feature, 3 feature, 1 sample. Okay, first we have x. X is equal to 1, 2, 3. Okay, then we are taking here vector matrix, 2 neurons, 3 input. 2 neurons and 3 inputs. Okay, so these are the neurons, and vertical line we have the inputs. So W is equal to NP dot arrays. You will take choose here. Then bias vector we have NP dot arrays 0.1, 0.2. This is the bias vector. Okay, and linear output. So if you want to calculate the neural network layer output, so we have this operation. Now this is the complete example, and you will have the better understanding. Z is equal to np dot w comma x. W comma x means the dot product of these two vectors. Okay, plus b, plus b. Okay, so here we have only 3 features, 1 sample. 3 features means first, second, and third. 1 sample. But here we have 2 neurons. Okay, this is the first neuron, and this is the second neurons. But all these 2 neurons have 3 inputs. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is the vector matrix. And then bias vector you can see. Okay, here also we are required 2 inputs. And then apply the linear output operation as we have discussed in the very previous examples. Okay. So NP dot W comma X plus B, this will compute the linear output, and you can execute and you can see these are the neural network output layers 1 and 1.5. Okay, so here we choose the two neurons. That's why we have two outputs. That's why we have two output. Got it? So you can see the examples which we cover here are completely based on the matrix algebra. Okay, so this part, advantages of the matrix algebra computation: reduce computational complexity, faster execution through vectorization, scalability, compatibility with the hardware acceleration, mathematical clarity and consistency. Okay, so very simple to use and simple to implement. Product of more than two matrices in a single line of instruction. Okay, if you want to multiply three matrix, okay. So what you will do? Susan George is asking the question. Product of more than two matrices in a single line of the instruction. Yes. So if you want to multiply three matrix, okay, suppose that you have A matrix, B matrix, and C matrix. So the product of A matrix with B is possible only if the column, the condition which we have discussed must be satisfied. Okay. And what was the condition? What was the condition? You can see here. Once again, I am repeating for the multiplication. This is a scalar. C. The column of the matrix A must be equal to the number of rows of B. Okay. Only then you can multiply A matrix with B. So the product of these two matrices AB, you have new matrix which is C. And now if you want to multiply C matrix with D, okay, so this condition must be again satisfied. Only then you can multiply three matrix. And in the same way, you can extend up to 4 matrix, 5 matrix, 10 matrix. So each time you have to take the 2 matrix, but the condition must be satisfied whether these operations are applicable or not. So only this product possible when the condition is satisfied. Okay. And in the same way, if you want element-wise multiplication, and in the case of element-wise multiplication, the order of each matrix must be equal. Only then you can do. So this is the basic matrix algebra, which is essential for artificial neural network and machine learning. And I hope that there is no big problem to apply this type of the computation. Is very quite simple for all the participants. Still, if you have any question, what happen if the result of activation function is yes, there will be some confusion. Okay, so 0 and 1. See, when you are using the step function, in that case we have 0 or 1. Okay, in the case of a sigmoid function or tangent function, I mentioned that the range of a sigmoid function will be 0 to 1. This will lie between 0 and 1. And in the case of third, where my cursor is moving, for this case, the range of output will be -1 to 1. If you are using the ReLU function, in that case, you can see if the values are negative, then this will be always 0. And I present here one example. That was the very first example for the ReLU function. Okay, if and on the right hand side you can see is the line which you are observing here is at 45 degree. What is the meaning of the 45 degree? The values of Z and Fz both are equal. Okay, so as the value of Z will increase, in the same way, the value of Fz will increase. And here you can see the leaky value. Okay, so here you can see on the left hand side, the curve is a little bit below the horizontal line. But after 0, this is on the same way as we discussed in the ReLU function. Okay, so all these depend upon which type of the activation function we are using. Okay, so the more clarity will be then when we will apply for the real problem. But right now we are discussing how you can use Python to compute these values. Okay, how you can implement. But this is the not the real application. Just we are computing the values. Okay, but you have to keep in mind their respective range when you will apply any activation function. Okay, so all these are described at this place. Okay, so you are talking about uh, about no hidden layer. Okay, only we have input and output. In that case, we have 0 or 1. But in the other cases, when we have the hidden layer, not always 0 or 1. Okay, we have to achieve the target value, and according to that we have to decide. Okay, so according to this activation function, we have to observe their range, whether the values which we are getting are between this range or not. Okay, so according to the need, we will apply this type of the activation function which are defined at the place. So this is the algebra of matrix which we have discussed here and completed this file. Now I have one more file, linear algebra, ANN and ML. Okay, this file I will let for you. So most of the part which we have discussed is completed here. Okay, but still how you can update, and I hope that you can cover this file. Otherwise, we will discuss your questions tomorrow, but you must cover this file yourself. Okay, so in this file, you will study why the linear algebra is essential for ANN and ML. So here you will study some core concept which we are required to study here. So learning rate, bias term, loss function, regularization parameter, lambda. Okay, and examples are there. Just you are required to choose the vectors, their addition, subtraction, all the properties are we have studied already. Okay, so try this file yourself, and but keep in mind the properties are very essential. Okay, which you can see here. Some properties are there, so the understanding about all these are very important. So many parts which we have covered in the previous file. This is a little bit more advanced. Okay, so I let this file for you, and try to cover this file yourself. Very simple file is there. So this file is assignment for you. All the operations, all the calculations are there. Okay, this file we will discuss tomorrow. I'm not covering this file today. Just 1 minute. I must have some more files. ANN2026. NumPy. Matrix algebra. Extract. Okay. So I have to upload here the file. How you can upload? You will click on the upload, then the files are available in my download directory, and in my download directory this is the folder, and inside this folder I have these files. Okay, and from these two file, this file list in Python, NumPy, basic, NumPy, pandas, tuple not required, EDA and feature, okay, string and tuple, okay. Yes. So I will share all the content which you can see here at this place, okay? And all these files you can easily cover. But I will demonstrate here some of them. I can start from matplotlib. Okay. So inside matplotlib, there are, when we have the data set, okay, and we have to visualize the same. And for the visualization, we are using mainly two libraries. One is the matplotlib, and second is Seaborn. Okay, these two libraries are very essential to visualize our data set, to visualize our outputs. So whenever you have any data set in your CSV file, Excel file, or text file, so these two libraries are very essential. So here we put here some examples. And very simple to use. See the first statement. This is also important for you. So when you are required to install any library in your system, when the same is not available. Okay. So in this file, you can see this statement. Okay. Pip install. After that, this part which you are seeing, which is highlighted, this is the name of the library. If you want to install NumPy, then you will put the name of the NumPy. If you want to install pandas, you will put the name of the library at the place, matplotlib. And if you want to install the matplotlib, okay, so this is the name of the library. And when you will execute, and you can see that this will take few seconds. Yes, here you can see the message requirement already satisfied, because as I told you that the basic libraries just like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib are there inside along with Anaconda. We are not required to install. That's why this message is there. We are not required to install. Requirement already satisfied. Okay. So now you can skip, and now how you can use Matplotlib to visualize the data set. So see here, from Matplotlib, import pyplot as PLT. Okay, from Matplotlib import pyplot as PLT. Okay, so this is the abbreviation. In the place of pyplot, we will use PLT only. Okay, so this will be imported pyplot from Matplotlib, is one of the packages of the libraries. Okay, so this is the one of the specific tool which we are using. So see here, we take only x vector and y vector. So this is the x array, only two values are there, 0 and 15, 0 to 15. Okay, and here we have the y values, 0 to 6. And PLT, you can see this abbreviation will be used to plot the graph. PLT dot plot, PLT dot plot, and then this is the x vector, which is independent, and this is the y vector, which is dependent, and PLT dot show. And when you will execute, you can have this graph. You can have this graph. Okay. Similarly, this is the another example. Here we are taking 0 to 10 and 0 to 6. Here was 0 to 15. The similar type of example is there. And in the side, you can see we have the x vector and y vector. X is 0, 10, 2. Y is 0, 6, 2. Okay. So this is the line chart only. And when you will execute, this is x vector. Remember that this is the x vector and this is the y vector. And when you will execute, we have this graph. We have this graph. Very simple to use. And here is also ggplot. ggplot is also one type of specific toolbox inside the library for more specific, you can say here the feature. So from Matplotlib import style, and we are using the style ggplot. And by using this ggplot, what you can do, you can customize. Okay, so you can see here, this is the x vector, this is the y vector. Okay, x1 and y1, we are taking the two vectors. PLT dot plot x1, you can directly use these values. You can use directly these two values at the place of x1. Okay, and at the place of y1, we can directly use this value. But if you will store, because sometimes we have the length of x vector and y vector are larger than 3. Suppose we have the length is 10 or 50 and 100. So it is very difficult to manage. So for that, we have to store these values in two variables, x vector, y vector. Okay. So that's why we are using here x vector and y vector. Okay. And G and line width is 5. Okay. So when you will execute, yes. So G is used here for green. G is used for green. If you will decrease this as 1 and see the thickness reduced. Okay. If you are using here R, red color. Okay, so when you are using the ggplot, you can customize the graph according to your need. Okay, so line width you can choose according to your choice. If you are taking 1.5, okay. So this is the some specific feature to customize. So these simple examples which we insert here will help you to plot the graph. Okay. Now you can see here we have some more features. We have added the page, just like from matplotlib import pyplot as PLT. Then this is the plot of 0 to 10 vector and 0 to 6. Okay, these are the value of x and y vector. Then we can insert, see these three lines, plt dot title. This will print the title on the graph. Plt dot x label. This is the x label, which is the horizontal line. Added place. And plt dot y label. Y label is used for the vertical line. Okay, what you want to display on the vertical line. Okay, y label. Plt dot show is used to visualize the graph. Okay, so you can see these are the very simple examples are there. Very simple example. So this is the x label, y label. Okay. So red is because of we use here added place ggplot. So according to this statement, red color we are using. So this is also in the red color. Okay. Similarly, you can see here we have multiple graph. Okay, we have multiple graph. So what you can see here, this statement is very familiar to from matplotlib import pyplot as PLT, from matplotlib import style, and style we are using ggplot to customize according to our need. So here you can see this is the x1 vector and y1 vector for one graph. This is x2 vector and y2 vector for other graph. Okay, here we are using the graph for x1 and y1. This statement we are using for the graph x2 and y2 vector. Okay, then what we are doing, we are see at a place plt dot title. This will print the title on the graph. Plt dot x label, x axis which will be at the bottom. Plt dot y label, this will be on the vertical line on the left side. Legend. Okay, when we have multiple graphs in a single, we need to recognize which graph is used for which input. Okay, so and plt dot grid true color k is used for black. Color k means black color. Grid true means grid will be there. Horizontal lines and vertical lines. These are the grid. Plt dot show is used to visualize the graph. Yes, you can see. So these are the legend which you can see on the right top. The green color is for line graph 1 and the other color is for line graph 2. Okay, so this is the graph 1 and this is the graph 2. Got it? So that's why we are required. This will help us to understand about our multiple graphs in the single image when you generate. And you can see these vertical lines and the horizontal line. These are the grid in the graph. Okay. And also along with we have the axis and on the vertical side, we have the y axis. Similarly, there are some more examples are there. Okay. You can easily go through. These are very simple. Okay. And when we will implement all these for our purpose, for the real data set. So this will help you for the better understanding. Okay. So I hope you will go through this file also. And along with there will be some more files for the matplotlib. Okay. So if you have any question, you can put your question in the chat box, and along with I will allow you to unmute your mic also. Yes, any question? You are permitted to unmute the mic. Still, we have some part need to require to cover. Okay, so please don't leave the meeting. Please don't leave the meeting. You are allowed to unmute mic.
So good evening. Will you share all these files to practice from our side? Hello? Hello?
Muted. Okay. So I am able. Okay, you can listen to me now. Thank you. Thank you. So I mean to say the content which I present right now will be available in the Google Drive. Link is there. You can download, you can practice it, and I let you know how you can download and how you can upload. I have explained very clearly. Secondly, there are some more content which I think I will not be able to cover, which are only the basic fundamentals. And just you are required to go through and you can easily cover all these files. Just you are required to spend only one, maximum 2 hours enough. Okay. So everything is described all in this side. So there are various files you can see. Once again, I'm sharing my screen. So when you will, yes. So this file I have covered and some examples are there. You cover yourself. Okay. So I want to save some time and see here this file we have covered. This also we have covered and numpy basic operations. You can open it and see what is there. So these are the some examples and you can apply. Okay. So only there are some arrays and vectors and you can use, yeah, this file is very important for you. I will take only 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes, I can cover. See. Okay. We have this vector. You can see this is the vector. Okay. And in this vector, we have the values from 1 to 5. Okay. And create a copy. To create a copy, we are using this is the variable where we store the value. We are using the copy function, array.copy. Then what we are doing here, we want to update any value. Just like you can see 0. What is the meaning of 0? Actually, the index in Python is starting from 0. 0 means first element. 1 means second element. 2 means third element. Okay. So indexing in real life starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Okay. We don't assign 0 number to anyone. We starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But in the case of Python, the index is starting from 0. Okay. So what is the meaning of this one? This is the first element from the copied vector. Okay, this is the copied vector. So other element is in this vector we have copied at this place. Okay, now what we are doing, we want to modify this value. We want to update this value. So this is the first element. This is the 0 index 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. The index for this vector is from 0 to 4 for all these values. Okay. So 0 means first value. So the first value we want to replace with the 10. We assign the value to 1 is 10 to replace the value. Okay. So you can see here, this is the original array and this is the copied array. Okay. And in the copied array, we have 10, 8, 0 index. But here in the original, we have 1. See once again. If I am taking here 12, see. If I am taking here 2, see. 2 means 0, 1, and 2. 2 means third element. Okay. So third element is now 12. If you are taking here 1, 1 means second element. Okay. So if you want to update or you want to replace any value from the array, you can do by using in this way. And here import numpy as np array and creating a view. So what is the meaning of the view? View creates a new array object that refers to the same data as the original array. Modification made to view the affect the original array. No new memory is allocated. Both the original and the view share the same data. See here, we are using this vector and we create here view. Okay, modify the new array underscore view 0 is equal to 10. And when we will execute and we are required to print both the value, and you will see that in the both the vectors, the value is 10 for 0 index. If you are using at the place 2 and C. Okay. So just all the things, the concept, definition, use, everything is in the single file. Just you are required to study, okay, how you can use, study the information which we put at this place and apply and see the changes. Okay, you only need to manipulate the file. And all these things are very simple to use. Anyone can do all these operations, which are very quite simple. Okay. So here, array iterating. Here is array iterating. Say, iterating through NumPy arrays involves the accessing element within the array. Okay. So see here, we have import NumPy as NP. Then array is equal to, we have np dot array. And in the first row, we have 1, 2, 3. In the second row, we have 4, 5, 6 element. Okay. Then what we are doing here, this is the for loop. We are using here for loop. Okay. So the logical statement, we have create one more file and we will also require to cover the same. This will help you for the better understanding when we will use the for loop, while loop, conditional statement, logical operations are required. So this will take only 30 minutes or 1 hour maximum to cover this content. And after that, we can speed up. Okay, so many things we have covered in the today's session. And in the tomorrow's also, the logical operations are very, very essential, so that when these are required to implement in your file, you can have simple to implement. See here, what is the meaning of for loop? I. The value is taken from this one. First value, second value, third value, fourth value, fifth value, sixth value. Okay. NP dot N ND iter. Okay. ND we are using for dimension because this is not the single vector. Okay. This is two-dimensional because this is matrix. Okay. That's why we have to use here ND iter. Iter means iteration. Okay. Iteration for array. So what is I? I is the index which is used for first to last value, and print I. So when you will execute this statement and see all the values from first to last. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can extend, suppose that this is comma 5, and here I am taking comma 7. Okay, see 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, from first this will be covered, then this will be covered in the same way. Okay, so if you will include here one more row, you can manipulate these values. You can extend according to your desire, what you think, and according to computing thinking, you are required to manipulate these values and observe what are the happening by using this statement. Okay, so this is the for loop. Okay, so when you are using the for loop, we are required to initialize. This will take all the values starting from first index. Okay. Here you can see arrange function. So when you are using the arrange 0 to 6, so see this one example. So this will arrange the array from 0 to 6. 6 is the index. 6 is not the value. This is the index. Okay. 0 to 6. So you can see here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 values are there. And if you will apply the same operation which you do at this place for this matrix, and you can see when you will apply for the iteration C for I in NP ND iter. Okay, iteration for this one. So this will print all the values according to the index. Okay, so index will start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What if you will take this one 2, 3, 6, 8, 4, 1, 2. Okay, and see 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Okay, then apply here. Okay, so 2, 3, 6, 2, 3, 6, 8. In the same way, we have the array 1, array 2. The values are there. Okay, in the same order are printed there. Okay, so you can try in many ways how these values will print there. Control Z. So here we have the NP, but for here, which I took this example, this was not the NP array by using NumPy. That's why these values are occur in this way. Okay, so if you will create by using NumPy, then you can see the difference between them. Okay. Yes. And here is the example join arrays, how you can join the arrays. So here we have the array 1, this is the array 2. And if you want to join, for that we have to use concatenate function is there. By using concatenate, you can combine 2 arrays, 3 arrays, 4 arrays. Okay, as you can see here in this example. Okay, this is the 1, 2, 3. Then we have 4, 5, 6. And by using this function, you can combine them. Okay. And also you can reshape. So here we have 6 elements. We have 6 elements. So what are the possibilities for reshape? 2 by 3, 3 by 2, 6 by 1, 1 by 6. These are the possibilities to reshape. So see the same statement which is available at the place we are using here. Okay. Then dot reshape. Reshape means in which order you want to display these values. So we have to use reshape function. Okay. If you are using 3 by 2, 2 by 3, yes, 2 by 3. Then you can have some example like separating the arrays. If you are given the one array, you can separate it. Okay, so searching, sorting, filtering, you can also try these examples which are very quite simple. Okay, so this is all about the NumPy basic operations. Some I have tried to present, but some I let for you. So there are some more NumPy Python 1, 2, okay. These files will be available and you must try to cover yourself. Easy, some part we have covered already, some things may be new. This will enhance your knowledge. Okay, so you can easily go through all these files and various examples we put here. Just you are required to use some functions will be similar to as we use in the previous file, and some may be new function. And this is the string. Okay, so here you can see S is equal to I neuron. Okay, so this is the, if you want to check the type. So you know when we have the quote sign and inside we have any kind of the text, whether it is a character or numbers. So this will be always a string. Okay. So if you check, you want to check the type of the data. So you will use the type function. So type S will return str. Str means this is the string. Okay, this is string. If you want to access the first element of this string, S0, this will access the first element, I. If you are using 5, this will access the fifth element. Fifth means sixth element. 5 is the index, okay? 0 is index, 1 is index, because we have to keep in mind index is starting from 0 in Python. Okay, -1. If you are using -1 means from the last. -1 means from last 1, last 2, last 3, last 4. If you are using S-1, this will access the last element. Okay. If you are using S-2, this is the second last element. You can see second last element. Okay. So here various examples are given here. You can easily go through. See this example. See this example. We have, this is the string. Okay. So you can see this is, so between these two, we have space. Space is also one character. Keep in mind. Space is also one character. So here 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So see, I am starting from 0. 0 means T. If I am taking 1, 1 means H. If I am taking here 2, 2 means I. If I am taking here 3, then S. If I am taking 4, then what should be there? Empty, because there is a space. Space is also one character. Keep in mind. Okay. So this space is empty. Got it? Similarly, you can try the other examples, which are, I think, you can easily do. You can use these files. Okay, so the information which you can see here inside you can go through, and just you are required to play with this file. Okay. So dear participant, this is all about the today's session, and now all the content I will upload for you. There are some one or two or three files are there which I am not able to present, but along with I will share some more file. So the thing is that the files which I will upload you, all these are the basic fundamentals. Okay. So if you will cover, it's okay. Will help you in the coming sessions. Some part I will cover, some part I think I will not be able to cover because we need to implement the models which we are covering, artificial neural network and machine learning. So these are the some basic part. So when you will cover all this will help you. If you not cover, then also we can cover the other part. But this will make you more better understanding. Okay, you will these concept will make you more strong foundation for your learning. So if you will cover, this will enhance your skill, your foundation, and this will be easy to implement. So many part which I have covered today, and the other files which I will share with you, easily you can implement, you can study, you can do practice on it, you can apply. Okay. There will be very rare where you face some problem. Otherwise, the syntax which is available here, examples which I put here, everyone can easily cover all these files. And I hope that you will also try to cover all this content. Okay. So this is all about the today's session, and thank you. If you have any question now, I allowed you to unmute your mic. Yes, now I would like to listen to you. You are permitted to unmute your mic. Yes, you can. Any question, please? Paul Gokul, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, any question, please?
No. I'll just go through the code from today and yesterday, and if I have any questions, I'll ask them tomorrow.
Okay, so all the files will be available after just this session. I will upload, and you can easily access from. Okay. If we would have the notebook file shared. Yes, all these books will be available. Jupyter notebook files which I create will be available in your Google Drive. Okay, the link is available. Just see where is the link. This is our WhatsApp group. You can see this is our WhatsApp group, right? So when you will go to the WhatsApp group, yeah, you can see on the right hand side. Okay, scroll down, and you can see presented content. This is the Google Drive. Okay, so everyone can open this link. Just you are required to click on it. The Google Drive link will open, and you can see day one. So day one PPT is there, and today is the second day. Okay, when you will click on it, yeah, this is the PPT, yesterday's lecture. And today we have the script file. So all the script files will be uploaded in this new folder. Okay, which I create here, day 2. Okay, you will get all this content in this day 2 folder, and the link is available. So after few minutes, 5 minute break, after 5 minutes, you can access all this content. Okay, so there is no problem from each side. And I hope that you will try to use all these content which I present today and the other files which I'm not able to present. So all the content are very necessary so that in the coming days you don't have any problem to understand. Okay. So all the new concept which we will cover will be explained very clearly so that you have the better understanding. Any more question, please? Any more question? Okay. I'm asking if you have any question or any issue from his side.
Hello.
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 Yeah. Yes, please. Nauni, yes, please. You can unmute your mic. Okay. So if you have, I think all the things are fine. If you don't have any question, I think everything is going well.
Yes, sir.
Mohammed, yes,
Suggestion.
please.
Thank you, sir. It will be better that we have to practice as a group, 2 or 3 members. Some points we didn't understand, we can learn from each other.
I can allow you to chat in the group. Okay. So only you should follow the terms and conditions as mentioned for the WhatsApp group. Okay. So only the nice discussion must be there to support each other. Okay. So any more question, please? Okay. Okay. So now I can close the meeting. Himania.
Yes, I think if I've understood Mahmoud, what he was saying is he is suggesting maybe that we can have some group split in the presentations for group practice. It's not mean. I think it doesn't mean that we will be discussing on the WhatsApp group. I think it is here. I don't know if I got him correctly.
Now, in both cases, we can work together here in a presentation, also after presentation before next class.
Okay.
Actually, the thing is, all the content which we are presenting are uploaded in the Google Drive link so that everyone can easily download. If we will separately upload the content in the WhatsApp group, then I think this will be very confusing, according to my opinion. Okay. And the recording link, apparently, all the recordings are available on the YouTube. The link I will share with you. So anyone who has skipped any part of the lecture, you can access from the recording, which is available and without any advertisement. Okay.
I think, sir, because recordings are already uploaded on YouTube, we can just be replaying and slow down the play so that we can just do practice on our own. Because the time we were having here is not, I think, is not enough to make a practice in Group C, given the 2 hours of your lecture.
Okay. So thank you to all. You can suggest in my personal chat, and also today I will share one feedback form so that I can get some more important information from your side, feedback which make more sportive or informative sessions. Thank you very much for the today's session, and tomorrow we will resume at the same time. Good night, all of you. Stay connected. Thank you.